here to talk to you about chronic myeloid leukemia and how researchers are working to say see you later to CML. But before that, let's start with the obvious. What is CML? It's a form of leukemia, a type of cancer that affects the blood and bone marrow. Myeloid refers to myeloid cells, stem cells in the bone marrow that make red blood cells, platelets, and white blood cells. Finally, chronic refers to the fact that the disease builds slowly. So CML is a slow-building cancer that occurs due to the buildup of blood cells that affects the blood and bone marrow. While smoking, genetics, diet, and chemicals do not affect CML, those with severe radiation exposure, the elderly, and males have a higher chance of having CML.
Normally, a stem cell within the bone marrow produces lymphoid cells or myeloid cells. Typically, the myeloid cell starts as an immature blast, then matures to become red blood cells, white blood cells, or platelet-producing cells. Before undergoing automatic cell death or apoptosis, the cells are distributed throughout the body in healthy portions to conduct their respective duties. However, cells with CML develop differently. During the cell cycle, as the stem cell produces a myeloid cell, a mutation occurs, which causes chromosome translocation, such that the BCR gene on chromosome 22 and the ABL gene on chromosome 9 are translocated to produce a new chromosome that is both BCR and ABL. This new chromosome, called the Philadelphia chromosome, is a constantly active tyrosine kinase protein, so the cell is constantly receiving the signal to produce more myeloid cells, making the Philadelphia chromosome invincible. As a result, the cells are constantly producing more and more myeloid cells, such that the bone marrow is overloaded with myeloid cells that eventually diffuse into the bloodstream in massive quantities.
Symptoms of CML include fatigue, bleeding and bruising, a weakened immune system, loss of appetite, and pale skin. CML is typically diagnosed by testing for the presence of the Philadelphia chromosome or BCR-ABL genes. Primary treatment includes pills such as tyrosine kinase inhibitors and interferon alpha drugs, both of which work to reduce growth and division of leukemia cells. With these treatments, about 70% see a reduction in the number of Philadelphia chromosomes in the blood and bone marrow. CML makes up 15% of leukemia in adults. As a result, 1,140 people will die from it in 2019. It continues to primarily affect the elderly, with the average age of diagnosis being 64 years old. Fortunately, research is being done so that we can say "see you later" to CML. Genetic research is being done to learn more about the disease, and drug research is working to improve TKI drugs and develop new drugs. This research could not be done without the following sponsors, who are helping us work to say "see you later" to CML.